Hello everyone, welcome to Sting Tales. Today we will join together in a meaningful and touching story titled, The Prodigal Son, the Father's Infinite Mercy. This is a story about the boundless love and unlimited mercy of a father, always waiting for his children to return, no matter how lost they have been. Let's listen, feel, and reflect on the profound message that the story brings. Part 1. Beginning of the story. Once upon a time in a small peaceful village, there lived a wealthy family, filled with love. The father, although possessing many properties, always valued affection, educating his children with patience and kindness. The family consisted of 2 sons. The older brother was hardworking, gentle, and obedient. The younger son had a thirst for freedom, a love of adventure, and was easily tempted by attractive but ephemeral things. The youngest son looked around the family, the peaceful days passing by regularly, and a thought arose in his heart. Why do I have to live in this framework? Why should my father's property be tied to ordinary days without bringing me experiences? I want to be free, to live as I please, to know what the world is like out there. With a soul full of youthful enthusiasm, he approached his father, took his hand and said, "Father, please give me my share of the property." The father, though heartbroken, still looked straight into his son's eyes, seeing in them both the desire for freedom and the immaturity of youth. He sighed, but still respected his son's wishes. The father divided the family fortune, giving his son his own share of the property, knowing that this would bring challenges and could lead him down a difficult path. The father's giving was a testament to his mercy and respect for his son's freedom. Part 2. Leaving home. Entering the big world. The son left home carrying money and entered the big city, a place full of bright lights, lavish entertainment, but also hidden dangers. Day after day, he squandered money on parties, entertainment, frivolous entertainment, and fleeting relationships. At first, everything was new, joyful, and exciting. But after a while, that false joy quickly faded, leaving an emptiness in his heart. At night, he lay in his dark rented room, surrounded by coldness and loneliness, and realized that money could not fill his soul's longing. He thought of his father, his family, his loving home, and regret began to well up. He saw that the freedom he sought was just an illusion, and he had strayed from the path of true happiness. He said to himself, "Dear Father, if I return, will you accept me? Will you forgive the mistakes I have made?" Part 3. The decision to return. With a heavy heart but full of hope, the son decided to return. He prepared an apology in his heart. "Father, I have sinned. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Please accept me as a servant." With each step home, he remembered the days with his father, remembered his warm eyes, remembered his gentle smile and his gentle but profound teachings. He was both scared and excited. Every road, every field, every village he passed reminded him of his childhood, of his father's arms, of the feeling of being loved and protected. Part 4. The father's welcome. When he was still quite far from home, the father saw his son's silhouette from afar. Immediately, joy welled up in his heart. The father ran to him, without waiting for his son to say a word, and embraced him. Tears of joy, happiness, and compassion fell on his son's shoulders. The father ordered a grand feast to be prepared. "Bring your son the best robe, put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet. We must celebrate, because my son has returned from the dead of sin and error." The feast resounded with music, laughter, and joy. The son, who had thought himself abandoned, now saw that his father's mercy was limitless, always ready to welcome anyone who returned. Part 5. The older brother and the lesson of mercy. The older brother, hearing the music and seeing the celebration, was angry and jealous. He blamed his father. "You gave him everything, and I was faithful and obedient, and you never threw me a party." The father looked at him with tender eyes. "My dear son, you were always with me, everything I have is yours. But we must celebrate because your brother who was lost has returned. This joy is the joy of forgiveness, of boundless love. Do you understand?" The older brother realized that mercy has no limits, and the joy of a lost person returning does not diminish the love he has for his other children. This is a lesson for both of them. Love and forgiveness go beyond worldly justice. Part 6. Reflection on mercy. This story is not only about family, but also a symbol of God, a merciful father, always waiting for his lost children to return. His love is not limited by mistakes, stubbornness, or frivolity. Every person in life has moments when they go away, chasing after frivolous things, forgetting the true love of the Father. But when we realize our mistakes and return, God welcomes us without judgment but full of joy and forgiveness. The prodigal son is the image of humanity, and the Father is the image of God the Father, who always opens his arms to welcome us. Part 7. Message for today's life. Mistakes are not the end but opportunities to learn and return. Forgiveness is stronger than hatred. God's mercy is beyond all human standards. Returning is the only path to happiness, where we are healed and loved completely. The joy of someone returning is a reminder for the community to welcome and support each other, just as the Father welcomed the prodigal son. Part 8. Suffering and deep realization. On the way back, the son not only carried with him regrets, but also went through a long and painful inner journey. He recalled every moment he had wasted. The lavish parties, the fake friends, and the wrong decisions that left his heart empty. He realized that worldly possessions could not fill his soul, that external freedom was not as good as internal freedom. Every step back home was a step closer to the light, but also a step toward shame, with the fear that his father would not accept him. In the dark nights, lying in the middle of the deserted fields, he looked up at the starry sky, and tears fell, saying to himself, "Father, if I come back, please forgive me. I have been lost for so long, but my heart now turns only to you." That loneliness, that regret is the door to maturity, the transition from a frivolous child to a humble and apologetic soul. Part 9. The miracle of mercy. When the son was still a long way from home, the father saw his son's silhouette from afar. But what was special was that in that moment, the father not only saw his son's figure, but also felt his repentant heart, his fear, and his burning hope. The father did not slow down, did not wait for his son to explain himself. He ran to him and hugged him. Not a word of reproach, not an angry look, just overflowing joy. This image was not just a hug, but a miracle of mercy, proving that God the Father always sees the heart, not just the actions. The son collapsed, tears mixed with a sigh of happiness and relief. "Father, do you really accept me?" The father smiled. "You have returned, that is enough. Nothing you do can make me leave you. My love is unconditional, always waiting for you to return." Part 10. Celebration and community lesson. The feast was prepared immediately. It was not just a feast of food and drink, but also a feast of forgiveness and love. The neighbors, the family acquaintances were all invited to witness the miracle. A lost man returned, embraced in the arms of love. The elder brother, who initially felt jealous, gradually realized that joy is not divided, but multiplied when shared with others. He learned that love and mercy are not limited by quantity, but are measured by the heart. The feast. There was laughter, music, and stories of the past. The prodigal son recounted his wandering days, his mistakes, and his awakening in his heart. Each story was a lesson. Each laughter was proof that forgiveness can turn suffering into joy, failure into new opportunity. Part 11. Conclusion. The story of the prodigal son is not just an ancient parable, but a light for every lost soul. It reminds us that no matter how far you go, the Father's mercy is always waiting, and when you return, there will be joy, forgiveness, and a new life full of hope. Each of us can be the prodigal son, but we are also invited to return, to enter the Father's arms, where boundless love and mercy are always ready. Returning is not a failure, but a victory of a repentant heart. When we have the courage to return, God will welcome us, embrace us, and feast. Not just to eat and drink, but to rejoice with us in the light of love and forgiveness. Thank you for listening to today's story with Sting Tales. The Prodigal Son, the Father's Infinite Mercy. Hopefully the story has helped you feel the immense love and infinite mercy of the Father, always waiting for each of us to return. Keep this message in your heart and bring it into every act of love in your life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next meaningful stories. Wishing you a day filled with hope and peace.